Hey, how's it going, everybody? Commander Crane here, and we are back with another video. And today, we're going to be talking about the huge leaks that have surfaced from the 30th Celebration set, and it's pretty massive. Largely, it appears that the entire set has been revealed. From what it looks like, the entire booklet from the ETB has been shown, so largely, it seems that we know the entire set, as long as it is legit, but I believe that it is legitimate. It seems really legit, and we're gonna go ahead and take a look at that, as well as kind of spotlight some of the brand new cards that we've seen. And although a lot of these cards are new, some of these are like functionally cards that we have not seen before, which will make sense in just a moment here. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Overall, I really think this set's going to be crazy. I'm hoping that Pokemon just prints this set into the ground so that way everyone can get their hands on it, because a lot of these cards are just really, really sweet. So at least looking at it from here, so a lot of these cards are cards that we've seen before, but not in this way. So like the Sylveon, right? We've seen the Sylveon already. We already know its attacks and everything like that, but this is brand new artwork. Same with the Gengar and the Salamence. Those ones are new ones, which we'll talk about those more in a moment here. The Jirachi EX also looks really, really cool. We've seen what this card does. We just didn't see that it was getting this type of printing. It's believed to be SIRs, but we don't technically 100% know that, I believe. But they also might just be illustration rares, but it's kind of tough to say. It does have the double gold star up here, so that's why it is believed that that is the case. And then obviously we've got the Mewtwo in the Mew, which has this little green star. At least that's green, at least from how I'm looking at it here. And I believe this C means like classic, I believe. So that's what all these are. These are all reprints here. So we've got the Pikachu, the Charizard. We've got the Misty from the Gym Heroes set. Erica's Jigglypuff also from that. Sneasel from Neo. We got Shining Celebi from Neo. The Crystal Lugia, we got the Delcatty, which I don't remember exactly what set this is from. Dark Tyranitar from Team Rocket Returns. Scizor EX, Metagross EX from one of the Delta species set. Palkia Level X, the Uxie from one of the Diamond and Pearl sets. Crobat. I always want to say Supreme Victors. It's obviously not Supreme Victors. At least I don't think so. But I can never remember what set that actually is. We got the Gengar Prime, the Darkrai and Cresselia Legend cards, as well as the N Full Art. But the next cards that we're going to talk about too are also insane. There was 2 pages to this. So with this one, there is some new cards that we have not seen yet, but unfortunately we don't have the best scans for them. But we do have the Alolan Exeggutor, which we've obviously seen this one already here. The Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos. We saw the promos from the box set already, so we've seen these cards have existed in the set, but we did not know that they were also getting an illustration rare, which is really sweet. And as a Zapdos collector, I'm super happy about this one. We also have a Toxtricity, a Yamper, the Lapras we already knew about, Drifloon, Chandelure, Lycanroc, which I believe we already knew about the Lycanroc. We've got some Meowths here. We got the Alolan Meowth, as well as the Galarian Meowth and the Cantonian Meowth. We'll talk about more of those in a second. A Scraggy here, which looks really cool. We have a Golden Go. I believe that this is a Como. Yep, that's Como. The Hisuian Zoro, which we might have already known about. At least, maybe not this printing, but we knew that there was a Hisuian Zoro in the set. I believe that this is a Mousehold. It's really hard to read. Fuecoco, Greninja, which it looks like the Fuecoco and the Greninja are... Not only are the EX, I believe that's a Fuecoco EX right there. It's what it looks like anyways, because you can see print after Fuecoco, it looks like. And then Greninja EX, which would make sense that we get a Fuecoco EX, because we do have a Sprigatito EX. But it looks like Greninja EX, the Pikachu EXs, which I believe that these are also just reskins. We know what these cards, like the Pika Pika Punch, and then the other attack I'm forgetting, but I believe that they're the ones that we've already seen, just in a different style. And then the big heavy hitters, the Mewtwo and the Mew, more of the SIRs that are going to be featured. More on the Mew in a moment. But I want to take a second to try to take a deeper dive and look at the cards that are actually like new cards. So we're not going to look at all the reprints. Like, we don't have close-up pictures of any of the reprints. But I want to take a look at some of the cards that will be new to the actual Pokemon TCG. So the Salamence EX is really the big one that everyone's talking about. So 330 HP, it's a Dragon type, Booming Call for 1 energy of any type. It appears that it says put up to 3 Dragon Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench. So, in Magical Christmas Land, that means that you can put 3 Dragapult EXs onto your bench on turn 2, which is kind of wicked. Does that mean that this is necessarily going to be good? I don't know. It also could just be good by itself, to be honest with you. With Salamence, you know, like for instance, if you're, you know, with this attack, Dragon Pulse, 240 damage, it also appears that it says discard the top 2 cards of your deck. So, you know, if you're kind of like self-milling, which you don't usually like to do that in Pokemon, but you know, you could Booming Call, you could set yourself up, I don't know. Anyways, I think that this Salamence is going to be pretty good. Hitting for 240 for 2 energy seems like a pretty solid rate. The Booming Call is nuts because you can just keep refilling your own bench with Dragon Pokemon. Seems kind of nuts. So I think this card's going to be pretty sweet, but we'll see as time goes on. It appears it does not have a weakness or resistance, and it has 2 retreat costs. So honestly, that's pretty darn solid. I mean, no weakness, and then for 2 retreat, you know, you can put an air balloon on this thing, is going to be pretty solid. So overall, I think the Salamence EX is going to be pretty darn solid. The next card I want to talk about, though, is the Gengar EX. So this one is tough. A lot of people are having a hard time trying to decipher what this does, but at least this is at least how I saw the card. So Fainting Spell, it appears that it says when it's knocked out, you flip a coin, and if it's heads, the attacking Pokemon is knocked out as well as the Gengar EX. Because you can kind of see it's like if Pokemon, see right here it says flip. Looks like it says flip a coin, and then if heads, the defending Pokemon is knocked out. That's what it looks like it says. So if Gengar EX, I don't know. It reads something like that. It could just also whenever it's dealt damage by an attack. It's really tough to read this one. I dug online everywhere trying to see if anyone could decipher this, but that's what it appears to be. And then Chaotic Pain for 2 Darkness Energy. It looks like this has put 12 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. That's what it looks like this card says. So overall, this card seems pretty solid. I mean, having the capabilities to possibly take out any attacking Pokemon for the Gengar EX, as well as put 12 damage counters on a Pokemon, is pretty darn good. So hopefully you got your battle cages, because otherwise this card could be pretty darn solid. So overall, pretty happy about Gengar EX. It looks like it's going to be really sweet. Also, this artwork looks really cool. So I know that this is going to be another big chase in the set. So the next cards I want to talk about too are the Connecting Meowth cards. So we can kind of read what these do. Like they all have Payday, but it's all different. So it looks like the Galarian Meowth up at the top has Payday and Treasure Rush, it looks like. And then the Alolan Meowth has Payday. It looks like for no energy. And then it says draw a card, but that one's tough to read, or maybe it's just 1 energy. And then it looks like the Cantonian Meowth that's on the right, it looks like its Payday attack has 2 energy. I don't know if, at least the picture I saw online, I don't know if these ones are like, you know, if they tried to use AI to clean them up a little bit. It appears that they may have. So I guess I wouldn't put too much stock into the actual energies. It looks like Treasure Rush is for a Steel energy as well. Which Galarian Meowth being a Steel type 100% makes sense. But it looks like the Meowths, they're all different. So, well, they all have cameos of each other. So, like, the Alolan Meowth has a Cantonian Meowth as well as a Galarian Meowth in it. So, it looks like they're all doing cameos on each other's cards, which is really cool. But these Meowths are definitely going to be collectible. A lot of people really like Meowth, including my wife. So, I know that she's definitely going to want all these cards. But, yeah, again, how good these are going to be in Standard, I guess it really just depends on how good, you know, if there's a good Persian. Obviously Team Rocket's Persian can't evolve from this, so we'll kind of see. These cards might end up just being collector pieces instead of, you know, potentially game pieces. We'll see what happens, but as far as it goes, I just wanted to show these off because the connecting arts is kind of cool, you know, and it shows all the different Meowths, which is honestly just a really, really nice touch. I really like these cards. And the last card I want to show off is, although it is not technically a new card, because we've seen what this card editor does, there's a really high quality scan of this card, and I figured I would show it off. The Mew EX. So it looks like there's going to be 3 different variants of this Mew. So we have the base version that's going to be in the regular set. We've also got this SIR, which looks really nice. And then we have like I'm forgetting the name of the new rarity, but it's like the super fancy textured Ultra one or whatever. This one also might be textured. It's unclear. There was a video that surfaced, someone holding this. It looks to be at like a card show. It's unclear if that one is real or not. I mean, that would be pretty quick for someone to like make a fake printing of this and then show it off on the same day that it was leaked. So I guess anything's possible, but it is believed that this card is legitimate, and I can tell you firsthand that this card is going to be really expensive. I mean, not everyone already kind of figured that was going to be the case, obviously, but with this Mew EX, I mean, like the artwork looks really nice. This is such a nice artwork. I like this better, honestly, than the other one, than the one that's like super hollow, fancy, like the ultra rare one. I like this art better than that, and I think most people are probably going to agree with that. Obviously, the other one is going to be significantly rarer, presumably, to open, but this one looks really nice. So I just wanted to show this one off because, yeah, it looks really, really nice. And overall, this set is going to be crazy. I really hope that the Pokemon Company is going to at least somewhat meet the demand of how much people are going to want to open the set. Me personally, I don't really open booster packs that much, but I really do love these celebration sets. When they did Pokemon Celebrations for the 25th anniversary, I know that I opened a decent amount of packs just because it was really fun to see all of the old cards come back. And then there's obviously like your big hitters. You know, you had your Gold Mew, and then you could open like the base set Charizard. There's a lot of really cool things going on in those packs. So hopefully they do bring these back, or at least they print a lot of the product so that way people can actually get their hands on it. But we'll see what happens, and we will move on from there. But regardless, there's some really cool cards that people are going to want to chase. So definitely let me know what you think in the comment section below. What card's your favorite so far that was revealed, or if you're hoping that more different cards are going to get revealed. I know I was hoping for a Gyarados, but it appears that might not be the case, that a Gyarados is going to be in the set. But we'll kind of see what happens with that and see if there's any other cards that have to be revealed. But that takes us to the end of the video here. Thanks so much for watching. Huge shout out to all our channel members below. And yeah, that's all I've got for you today. So I'm Commander Crane. Thanks for watching this video, and hope to catch you in the next one.